I live in Raleigh, North Carolina, and I train at NC State. I attended North Carolina State University, where I double major in communications with a concentration in media and sport management. So I'm kind of really just taking it as more time to prepare for the Olympics. Definitely with it being postponed, that was significant news for this year, but it also allowed me and other athletes to take the approach and be able to take things kind of a step back and work on things that we may have felt we needed to work on. And so that's kind of the approach that I'm taking, it as more time for me to train, get fit, and work on things that I felt I could have been better during the season. I would say that COVID-19 has impacted my sprinting career significantly. It was my first year running professionally, and of course, after the indoor season, everything kind of came to a stop due to COVID-19. I've kind of really just been coping with it by staying fit and training and remaining on the same track as if the Olympics were still happening but just at a later date. So although the season or the outdoor season was kind of like taken away from us due to COVID, I definitely think that me being able to still train and work out pretty much on the same schedule that I was before is something that I can really take into and give me momentum next year. If we do happen to be able to have a season after this is lifted, then that would be great. I would definitely be willing to compete as long as me and other athletes, fans, and just the general public were safe to do so. By staying fit, I'm just trying to keep with the same training regimen that I had before all this kind of stopped. As much as I can, I know it's harder to find facilities to work out in, but I'm able to still weight train and still do workouts, so that's kind of helping me stay fit and on the same path that I was on before all of this basically started with the COVID-19. So this was my first U.S. Indoor Championship, so being able to come in and definitely secure the win was a significant thing for me. During that time in the race, I kind of just told myself to relax and rely on everything that I had been working on in training, and throughout the whole race just keep pushing until the end. And when I looked up, I had realized that I had got first place, and for me this kind of gave me an idea of where I was at in my indoor season going into the outdoor season, so it was a good gauge. And of course, with the Olympics being postponed, we don't know how an outdoor season will look, but I know that if I continue on that progression, that I'm in a pretty good place. Another major highlight for me was running at the Melrose Games indoor. It was really my first professional race. I had ran in other meets, of course, before then, but they were kind of at local colleges around the area that I was training in. So the Melrose Games kind of gave me an idea of what running in a professional race would be like. And this was a week before I ran at the U.S. Indoor Championship. So I feel like it kind of gave me like an idea of what running at the U.S. Championship would be like, and it kind of like set it up so that I was more prepared and ready going into the U.S. Indoor Championships. I wouldn't necessarily say I have always been a sporty person, but I have always been active. In my younger years, I actually used to sing, dance, and act. I was kind of like that artsy kid, and then I started cheerleading. And when I got to high school is when I started to run track and became more of a sporty type person. I cheered and ran track in high school. And throughout high school, I ran hurdles and sprints, and throughout college, I actually ran hurdles and sprints. And so when it was time to decide on whether I wanted to run professionally or not, that's when I decided that I was kind of going to focus more in on hurdles and get down the technique. But I do still run sprints, and I feel like sprinting is a huge part of hurdling, because the faster you sprint, then of course the faster you can hurdle. So I like to incorporate sprinting into a lot of my workouts, and hurdles is my main discipline, but I also do still compete in the sprints as well. So with challenges, I like to attack them head on, but I also like to relax and take a step back, because I feel like if you start to get frustrated with the challenge, then it's going to be harder to overcome. So for me, I like to relax, take a step back so that it can allow me to be able to overcome the challenge. And as far as moving on from it, I feel like it's something that you live and you learn from, and you don't dwell on it, you just move on and just basically take that learning experience that you learned from overcoming that challenge. My family is very supportive of my sporting career. My parents are like my biggest fans. They try to make it to every track meet that they can, if not every track meet, and I am very appreciative of that. My family overall, whether it's my brother or my uncle, my aunt, my cousins, they also are very supportive of my track career, and they're my biggest fans. Whenever they can repost things on Facebook just promoting me, or even come out to a track meet, they do so. So I feel like my family is very supportive of my track career, and they have always told me to just push for my dreams and go for it since I was younger, running in high school and starting out. Some of the top women hurdlers that I admire would be Sally Pearson, Lolo Jones, Gail Devers. Of course, Gail Devers was a hurdler and sprinter, and for me, it has always been a goal to be a hurdler and sprinter. I also grew up throughout high school and my early years of college watching McNeal and Kendra Harrison, and I really admired the way that they attacked the hurdles and just the aggressiveness they took to the race. And this was something that I wanted to incorporate in my hurdling as I became a collegiate runner and a professional athlete. So I would say my greatest sporting dream is, of course, to be an Olympic gold medalist. As I mentioned before, one of the athletes that I looked up to a lot was Gail Devers, and she has been a gold medalist in the 100 hurdles and 100 dash. So that has always been a goal of mine, while also being able to break the 100-meter hurdle world record. And I think a big part of that dream, not only being able to break records and bring home gold medals, but to also be able to leave a legacy behind where kids can look up to me and be able to look at me as a person that kind of inspires them to go after their dreams as hard as they can, no matter what anyone tells them, no matter how big or small the dream is, to just go after it. I think that we have definitely been doing a lot to improve women in sport globally, but we need to continue to have a strong approach, if not stronger, because I feel like it is starting to be a topic that everyone is talking about. And if we can get people from all different sports, whether it's male or female, to advocate for women in sport globally, then eventually, if we continue with this strong push, there will be a breakthrough. I definitely think that the promotion for women in sports has gotten a lot better. There have been a lot more ad campaigns promoting women in sport with different companies. The topic of equality with women in sport has been a major topic, and we've seen improvement with the WNBA, and even women's soccer was a big thing. And I think that everywhere globally should continue to advocate for women in sports and continue to push promotion and equality, because women deserve to be recognized just as much as men do. My advice to young hurdlers about reaching for their dreams would definitely be to go for it. Don't let anyone tell you, no matter how big or small your dream is, that you can't do it. And there will be people that will tell you what you can and can't do. But when one door closes, another one opens. And as a young hurdler, I just feel, and as a young athlete in general, I feel that you should definitely go for your dreams, no matter how big they are.